Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. And I want to say Shalom to Aknakwa out there pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. This one's titled, Pastor Marvin Saap, that's how you pronounce his name, locks down church until they donate, in parentheses, $40,000. Alright? So, I'm not too familiar upon this guy. The only thing I really know about him, and the only time I ever even heard of this guy is from this video. Apparently, he's a gospel singer and a pastor as well, Marvin Saap, or however you pronounce his name. And it says he's under fire for locking his congregation into the church until they all donated $40,000. Okay, and this is not something that should be happening. It's the common extortion. This isn't a donation. All right, it's not a donation. It's extortion. Okay, and we're gonna talk about extortioners a little bit later, Lord willing. I don't have any scriptures about them laid out. All right, but there'll be ones that we free flow, Lord willing. So again, gospel singer and pastor Marvin Saap is under fire for locking his congregation into the church. Locked them into the church until they all donated $40,000. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll this clip, and then we're gonna get some scriptures on it, Lord willing. So here you go. Here's the clip. Let me full screen the clip up. Here you go. Turn the volume all the way up. All right, and let it roll. Let's see. All right, here you go.
And they understand the cost. There's 1,000 of you. I said close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. It's 1,000 that's watching online. This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000 tonight. Now, everyone up here, we've all sold and seeded, but I need everyone standing up here with us, with me, to plant a seed of $100. Because again,
see, with them, he wants $100. It costs to be up here. I don't know if he said it yet. Let me see, because you know how it is when you screen record, you can barely hear. So let me see.
It costs to sit up here.
Yeah, there you go.
And this is what I need you to do. If you're giving electronically, or even if you're giving tangibly, I'm gonna have y'all come to the altar and give it, because I need to see 1,000 people moving. Bring them baskets. I want the baskets up here. I want to see the folk.
Wait.
Y'all start moving. Y'all can bring it right now. Come. 1,000 people need to give $20. 1,000 people need to give $20. 1,000 people online need to give $20. This is easy, saints.
So you heard him. It costs. All right, it costs, and it shouldn't cost. All right, this truth does not cost money. Okay. And that's how, well, this truth doesn't, that Christianity out there does. And they're not even giving you the real truth. You see, he's standing up there sweating, all right? Now, this person says, January's daughter, and they say Jesus. It says, oh, yeah, that's what Jesus wanted. Yeah, it totally didn't run around belting greedy fucks like this. Nope. And it'd be Yahweh Shai, all right? They ignorantly call Jesus. And yes, Yahweh Shai, we're going to get that exact scripture. Let's see. Yeah, 1 Timothy 6:10, they posted, it said, for the love of money is the root of all. Well, that's not in the KJV, but the KJV version goes, for the love of money is the root of all evil. And let's go and get it. 1 Timothy 6:10. Pierce themselves through with many sorrows, or something like that. 1 Timothy 6:10, for the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, and covet is constant want, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. And that's what's happening with these people. They covet money so much that they claim to be preachers of the Lord, and they're not. All right, they're liars, and they don't even give you the true truth. They're false prophets. But they're more worried about money. All right, that's all they are. They're extortion centers. All right, those churches, that's all they are. Now, you are supposed to give tithes. All right, but nobody over in the true truth. All right, and the one who's giving out the true truth right now is GMS. Not that I'm a part of them, but that's who I learned from. I recommend you do the same. And no one over there is gonna force you to give money. Okay, they're not gonna ban you because you didn't donate $50 this month. Or however much, it's 10%, but you didn't donate your 10% this month. You're getting blocked, and you'll no longer have access to the. No, it's not like that. Okay, now you are supposed to do it, but that's something that's between you and the Most High. If you're not giving tithes like that, that's, no man's gonna come up and pick you up, turn you up by your legs and shake you until change and money starts falling out of your pockets. No one's gonna start doing that. All right, that's something between you and the Most High. You should give tithes. All right, we all give tithes. But if you're not going to do it, that's between you and the Most High. That's not something that the men are going to extort you for and like I said, grab you by your knees and shake you upside down and hope, some change and some money and an iPhone falls. Oh, guess I'm going to have to take your phone and sell it. You didn't give tithes. No, it's not like that, all right? No one's going to, here it is, you go on a video or you go to a camp and they're going to surround you and say, you cannot leave this page. Someone's going to hack you if you're online, or someone's going to, 5 guys are going to surround you if you're on the highways and byways and say, you can't leave until you give us money. No, man, that's extortion. That's not a donation, all right? That's extortion. We're going to show you the difference. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and open up Vivaldi here. So what is a donation? Define donation. All right. It says something that is given to a charity, especially a sum of money. All right. An action of donating something. What is donating? All right. Donating, to give money or goods for a good cause, for example, to a charity. All right. And usually what they have to say is that a donation is, optional. All right, donation is something you do out of the goodness of your heart. Let's see. Money, alms, talks about that. But yeah, they don't necessarily put it in the donation, the donation. They don't necessarily put it in the definition, but the thing about donations is that donations are usually given freely. It's not something you have to extort out of somebody. Now, on the polar side, what is extortion? Extortion is the practice of obtaining something, especially money, through force or threats. I'm gonna lock these doors until you donate. That's extortion, all right? And a matter of fact, extortion versus donation. See what it says. Extortion involves obtaining something of value like money or property through threats or coercion, while a donation is a voluntary gift, usually of a charitable nature with no expectation of something in return. It's voluntary. You do it because you want to do it, not because they locked you in the church and you can't leave until you do it, okay? That is extortion, all right? That's a threat or coercion, saying, oh, you're not going to be able to leave until you donate $40,000. I tell you what, I would have bum rushed that motherfucker and got out that door. You ain't locking me in shit, all right? You ain't locking me in shit. That would have been a whooped-ass pastor that day, man. He would have got his ass whooped trying to lock me in there. I'm sure people would have joined me, too. Ain't locking me in anywhere. Why the fuck you gonna lock me in somewhere, all right? That makes me feel like you're about to do something to me or something, locking me in a goddamn building. Hell no, you ain't locking me in no fucking building. You better let me out this shit. You ain't getting shit from me. Not a dime. Matter of fact, if I was gonna donate in that situation, I would retract my donation in that case. All right. And matter of fact, he said, you need to come up. I need to see it. You need to give it to me. I need to see that money. Right? He wants to see it before you can even leave. Fuck that, man. You try to lock me in somewhere and force me to leave, I got places to be. I guess you're going to have a black ass eye. Right? Because you ain't locking me in anywhere. That is, essentially, that's a form of damn near assault. All right? You're going to get assaulted because you locked me in somewhere, but keep me, that's a hostage situation. All right, that's taking a hostage, locking someone in and forcing them to stay somewhere where they, when they want to leave. That's a hostage. You could actually go to jail for that. Look that up. All right, if you keep somebody without their permission, that's a hostage. All right, of course, even the police have to abide by that. They have a certain period they can hold you, all right, detain you, and after that, if nothing comes of it, they have to let you go. All right, or they have to get a warrant or something like that. Right. So now, if they go follow those rules, that's a different story. But the fact of the matter is, you can't just detain someone and keep them indefinitely until they do something for you. That's not how these things work, man. It's not how these things work at all. So, where do I want to get? Yeah, so, like the guy, that January's daughter, a girl or man, whoever said this, we're going to get that scripture in, John, just the one after Titus 1 and 10. So let's go and get Titus 1 and 10. Let's go and get it. Titus 1 and 10. Through just 11, right? Yeah, Titus 1 and 10 through 11. Let's get it. Titus 1 and 10. For there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they have the circumcision, especially those that are, bloodline, Jews, right? It says, whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things which they ought not, for filthy lucre's sake. Now, lucre is money. All right, now let's go and get this in the Good News Translation and have it, summed up a little bit easier for those that need it. It says, for there are many, especially converts from, it says from Judaism, but those that are Jews, all right, bloodline-wise, it says, who rebel and deceive others with their nonsense. It is necessary to stop their talk because they are upsetting whole families by teaching which they should not, and all for the shameful purpose of making money. And that's what that guy is. He does not care. He's up there sweating his ass off trying to get $40,000, okay? And he will not let you leave until you donate said $40,000. And he's going to know if you donated because you got to go up there and you got to give it to him personally, right? That's extortion. That's extortion. Bear with me while I grab a drink here. But yeah, man. So you can't just lock someone in. That's a hostage situation. What does it mean? Matter of fact, I'm gonna go look that up. All right, we'll do it here. A hostage definition. Hostage definition. A person seized or held as security for the fulfillment of a condition. 3 hostages were released, but only after the families paid an estimated $200,000 to the guerrillas. So yeah, man, that's even the example that they give you is example. You seized until a fulfillment of a condition. All right, I'm gonna hold you hostage. I'm gonna seize you, and you cannot leave until, in this case, $40,000 is made. Right, is paid $40,000 to the pastor. Right, so that is a hostage. You have held these people hostage. All right, which is illegal. All right, it is illegal to hold someone hostage. You can't do that. So, but he did it. All right, and they probably gave money because, they think that they're going to go to hell if they don't. So, where are we going to go from here? Let me see. Bear with me just a minute here. All right. Now we're going to go and get John 2 and 13 through 16, mentioning what that person, January's daughter or whatever, was saying. So, John 2 and 13. Let's actually go back over to the Good News Translate, the King James, Slakia. We'll get it in the Good News Translation as well. But John 2, I believe it said 2 and 13. Not 2 and 23, 2 and 13. And then we'll just read down to 16. Now it says, and the Jews' Passover was at hand. And Yahushua went up to Jerusalem and found in the temple those that sold oxen and sheep and doves and the changers of money sitting. Now, a money changer is, some of you might have shekels and you can change it into a different currency. You might have Greek or Roman dinars and you can change it over into shekels and, basically conversion, all right, money converter, right? So you give this many dinars and you get this many shekels, or this many shekels and you get this many dinars, right? So it says, and the Jews' Passover was at hand, and Yahushua went up to Jerusalem and found in the temple those that sold oxen and sheep and doves and the changers of money sitting. Mind you, this was in Jerusalem, so these, Jews. And it says, and when they had made... and when he had made a scourge of small cords, that's a whip, all right, a scourge is a whip, he drove them all out of the temple, and the sheep and the oxen, and poured out the changers' money and overthrew the tables. So he tore the place up, all right, and he was whipping people's asses, all right, with a whip. It says, and said unto them that sold doves, take these things hence, get these things out of here, right? Make not my father's house an house of merchandise, all right? So get out of here, get basically, get all this shit out of here, all these doves, stop selling things and making this place a place of merchandise and money, all right, and get out of here. Take your oxen, take your doves, and take your money and get the hell out of here, right? So, like that person said, they don't have the true understanding because they're saying Jesus, but yeah, he did go around and beat the hell out of these people, man. All right, people like this, and it's here it is. It's Jake, all right, and that's the same type of people, and that's the same one of the exact reasons that we're in captivity now is because Jake couldn't get right. They just always had to do some extra shit. All right, said not to eat pork, but they wanted to eat pork. All right, said not to commit adultery, but Jake wanted to get with another man's wife. All right, said not to, make not the his father's house a place of how was it? What's the word? Merchandise. All right, I was thinking monetary. That's not the word. Merchandise. Had a brain fart. So, but no, you did all those things. All right, everything that he told you not to do, you went and did. Okay? And that's why Jake is in captivity. And mind you, if it wasn't for Yahushai, we'd all just been dead, all right? Because we would have been or in a terrible situation. First of all, we would have been dead because he had to reason with his father, all right, not to just get rid of all of us. And secondly, he was also the one that was the ultimate sacrifice. He's the same reason we don't have to give blood sacrifice anymore. We don't have to go and offer up animal sacrifices anymore, right? We don't have to do that anymore. So if it wasn't for Yahushai, you, Jake, would be assed out, man. We wouldn't even be here, okay? But Jake is just greedy. Like this guy says, greedy fucks. Jake is a greedy fuck, man. What else do we have here? It says, wonder how much his watch cost, and his gold bracelet, and his gold change. It says it cost him nothing. His congregation paid for it. Since he locked them in, wouldn't demanding money for their freedom be considered illegal? Yeah, absolutely, it would be. What else do we have? It says, not gonna lie, if I was in the situation, Jim Jones would have been the first thing in my mind, and I would have caused a scene. Absolutely. Like that guy, like he said, I would have done the same thing, man. I don't know what you're about to lock me in there. You about to do some sacrificial shit, some bugged out shit. I don't know what you're about to do, man. Let me out this shit. All right, and I'm gonna go out fighting, man, because you ain't gonna have me locked in no building against my will. I don't know what you're about to do to me. I have no idea. You could be in there to hurt me, harm me, rob me, other sick shit. Who knows, man? You ain't locking me in nowhere. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So, this is the only time in my life I would gladly call the police. Yep, 911 operator, my pastor is holding us hostage. All right. It says, call the fire department. They go fallen psychotic if egress is blocked. So, there you go. What else? Never would have paid it. The guy behind him is looking like what the fuck after he says close the door is hilarious. Let me go and see. I gotta see what they're talking about. The two guys in the back. To be fair, they look like they don't know what's going on the whole time. All right, I don't know what you guys are talking about. You guys are. These guys look like those two guys in the back. They look like they don't have an ounce of wisdom or knowledge in their mind at all. And this guy looking dead in the camera like he's trying to ice cube you. All right, he's trying to give you the ice cube face. Ain't gonna happen, man. Ain't gonna happen at all. So, a couple scriptures, all right, about this. 4 of them, to be exact. We got the first 2, but 4 more. Matthew 10:8, all right? You're not supposed to be charging for this truth, okay? You're not supposed to be charging, okay? Now, donation as a tithe is one thing, okay? And that's something that you are supposed to do, but it's not something that anybody holds you to other than Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, okay? No one's going to force you to donate. No one's going to say you must donate. No one's going to, you can look at all of our videos, the brothers that follow GMS and then GMS themselves, all right? And me being one of the ones that follow GMS. We don't charge for our videos. GMS doesn't monetize. I don't monetize. Any of the brothers that are truly following this truth and, following Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and learning this true truth as according as it should be, all right? And the only one that's giving it out like that primarily is GMS and its true affiliates, okay? And we don't charge, okay, for videos. We don't charge for breakdowns, all right? GMS don't teach like that, and we don't teach like that, all right? And that's not a way that you should teach, okay? You shouldn't have charging, so much amount of money for preset packets, IUIC, all right? You shouldn't be charging for DVDs of breakdown, IUIC, okay? You shouldn't be doing that. That's not something you should be doing, right? But that's what they do. Okay, you can't find a single page anywhere of GMS where they're charging you for some shit. All right, charging you for knowing a preset package. They don't have that. First of all, they don't have a storefront. Okay, they don't have a storefront because you shouldn't have a storefront. If you sell some shit, you sell some shit on the side. You don't bring it into this truth. All right, you can make soap, but you can't make Yasharala soap. Okay, that's not something you should make. Okay, so if you make soap, make soap. Okay, don't call it Yasharala or anointing of Yahushai soap. Don't do that. All right, that's not something you should be doing, man. okay? Because that's trying to, you're trying to monetize the truth. You're trying to use this truth to gain some type of money, and that's not what you're supposed to be doing, okay? If you get a soap, you name it Strawberry Bliss or some shit, right? I don't know. Don't name it anything related to this truth, okay? You don't need to be doing that, okay? So, this is Matthew 10 and 8. It's one thing to have, a side hustle, a side gig, but don't bring it in this truth, all right? You go look at IUIC, they got beard oils, soaps, okay, selling garments, preset packets, anything that you could sell. They damn near might as well just sell congregation air. This was actual air. That was when we had our Passover. This was actual air in that building for the 2025. Get out of here, man. You might as well. I wouldn't even be surprised if they did it. All right? Wouldn't even be surprised. So Matthew 10 and 8. Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils. Freely you have received, freely ye have received, freely give. There you go. Freely ye have received, freely give. What does the Good News Translation says? It says, heal the sick, bring the dead back to life. No. Heal those who suffered from dreaded skin diseases, and drive out demons. You have received without paying, so give without being paid. They went off on there, but, when they're, but that's, it's, well, in a way they're right, but and you're talking about, spiritual dead, but the way they worded it, I wasn't a big fan of. But, that's why we get the KJV first and foremost. But anyway, we were given this for free, all right? When we heard it, all right, when Yahushua directed us to, whether it was the Brothers on the Highways and Byways, or someone that happened to just know about the truth and they told you and then you went and found it out, or if it was a lesson that you found on YouTube or some other way, we did not have to pay, okay, to get that. And we were directed, it wasn't, oh, you have to pay to get this video. It wasn't that. All right? It wasn't that. We don't even monetize our videos, okay? And that's not charging you. That's just people, you watch an ad. We don't even do that, all right? Now, I'm not to say none of our videos have ever been monetized, because I'm sure some of them have been monetized down the way, because they warn you that if you use, like, a piece of a song, or if you use, like, a piece of a video, that they won't, this video you haven't gotten a copyright strike, but the owner of this copyrighted material might choose to monetize your video. So if that ever happened, it's probably because we used a clip. Now, I've used clips, and I haven't ever seen any of my videos getting monetized. I don't know if it'd show me that they're monetized or not, but I've never seen any of my videos getting monetized, and no one that watches my videos, or people that I know that watch my videos, have ever said, hey, this video is monetized, all right? It doesn't work like that. So, we damn sure 100% would not do it on our own, all right? Would not click, monetize this video, right? We don't do that. Plus, you don't want to do that anyway, because then it goes, they already know who we are anyway, but then you got to put in a credit card, I'm sure, or something. They got to have some way to pay you, and then it's got your real name on it, all right? We don't use our real names, all right, in this truth, all right? We use our Hebrew names. One, because, we're putting off that worldly man and putting on the new man, and then two, we don't need people knowing our government names, because who knows what type of heinous shit they would do. Find our jobs and all these different types of things, right? Find out where we work, complain, whatever, all right? It has happened to one of the elders, okay? Well, by means of an ex-girlfriend, right? So, and that's just one of those situations you can't really avoid, because of course, the women are going to know our names, or certain people that we know are going to know our names. So you can't really avoid that. But, if you can't avoid that, you can avoid, having all of your information out, because you never know what these people are going to do, man. They can say, oh, this person's name is this and this, this and this. It's also like I think it was the apostles, or was it Elder Manat the Zakba, the elder. I don't remember who it was. That's the elder out in GMS, South Carolina. Somebody said, I can't remember who it was, but basically put out a warning about making sure, when you're driving, when you have the video on you, make sure, you're not cataloging your whole drive home. Here it is. You stop by Flamingo, and then you drive past Decatur, and then I'm just making up some names that are here in Vegas. I don't even know if those are necessarily linked. And then you go off of this street, and then you go, where are you going? All right, because if they see that one time, okay, you could be going anywhere. But if they always see you doing that trip, and it's clear, hey brother, I just got off work making this quick video, shalom, and I'm all, and all that stuff, and they see you making that same trip, they're gonna be able to follow your ass home, man. If there were some bad actors, man. If they really wanted to. So be careful. That's why when I'm in the car, I don't really ever show my face. First of all, I don't even know how I would go about doing that. I have to switch to the camera. And a lot of time when I'm in the car, I'm heading to work, and I'm in a work uniform anyway. So I can't have you seeing that. And I don't have an extra shirt. Like I know Elder Manats is out by usually has an extra shirt or something in his car that he drapes over him and drapes over the logo. Well, he used to. I don't know if he still works that job anymore. And really, it's none of my business. But he used to, you know, I guess he used to have a logo on a shirt, so he would drape another shirt over whatever the logo is. I, in the same way, have a logo on my shirt. All right, so you know, and it's just a regular, you know, polo, it's a regular polo shirt, but I have a symbol on there that would show you where I work, right? So, and I don't have any. I'm not gonna, you know, hold my hand over my shirt the whole time. That'd just be ridiculous. But yeah, man. So, and you know, you don't need to know where I'm going anyway, right? It's you got the video. You heard it, all right. If I'm gonna use video, I don't like using video a lot anyway. I mean, I know we should go on every once in a while, and there's videos on my page that show my face. I just don't, I'm not anybody important. I just don't like showing my face a lot. All right, you know who I am. You see it. You see who I am. Also, right now, my hair's all fucked up with the I need a haircut and all that stuff. But anyway, that's besides the point. Rambling. Just be circumspect, you brothers out there. You know, if you're making videos, like one of the brothers or apostles said, again, Slocky, I don't remember who said it. Make sure you don't have your whole trip home in your videos, because you just never know what these devils out here, what they're trying to do. But Isaiah 8:20, we're gonna go and get that. Isaiah 8:20 reads, "To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them." And he's not speaking according to this word. You're not supposed to be doing that. All right, that's definitely not something you're supposed to be doing. Matter of fact, let me go back on the internet, open up Vivaldi again, which I recommend for any brother and sister to use. It's better than Chrome, because Chrome's fucking awful. It's a Chromium-based browser, but it's still better. But I was gonna look up extortion. I spelt that wrong. Extortion, KJV, because I don't have a scripture. Nor extortioner shall inherit the kingdom is the first one that comes to mind. But trying to find it. Let's see. Let's see here. I mean, you got Psalms 109:11. It says, "Let the extortioner catch all that he hath, and let the stranger spoil his labor." It's not the one I'm looking for. I'm just seeing in general what I could get, but no extortion. This is the one I was really going to get, but this is 1 Corinthians 6:9. It says, "Know ye not," we're going to go down to just down to 10. It says, "Know ye not," this is verse 9, "Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of Yahweh? Be not deceived, nor fornicators, nor idolaters." And these guys are idolaters as well. And fornicator can be used spiritually as well as spiritual fornicator, right? And nor idolater, which they are, nor adulterers, which a lot of these people are, nor effeminate, which a lot of these people again are, nor abusers of themselves with mankind, nor thieves, and that's what you're doing, you're really stealing from these people, nor covetous, that's what you're being covetous, right? Nor drunkards, nor revilers, nor extortioners shall inherit the kingdom of Yahweh. So you're not going to be in a good place, all right? You're not going to be in a good place. I mean, you're just going to end up as a 2/3, right? And you're not speaking according to this word. Again, Isaiah 8:20, it says, "To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, is because there's no light in them." There's no light in these people, man. It's all darkness. It's all darkness, and that's just how it is. All right. Now this is all prophesied. All right. You remember, on this channel, one of the favorite chapters I like to get is Matthew 24. Okay. And why do I love Matthew 24 so much? Is because Matthew 24 is detailing all the prophecies. All right. Not all of them. All right. A good chunk of them. There's more prophecies in the Bible than just Matthew 24. But a lot of the ones that we're seeing now, you see in Matthew 24. Now a little bit of context. Matthew 24:1. It says, "And Yahushua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples," those are the ones that were following him, right, "came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. And Yahushua said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. Basically saying all these things are going to be destroyed, right? It said, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? Oh, tell us, Lord, when are all these things going to be destroyed? It says, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? All right, when you come back, what are these signs going to be? In the end of the world, how are we going to know? And then after that, starting down from verse 4, he talks about a whole bunch of different signs that you're going to see. Now, the one we're having today, talking about today, is in verse 11. All right, in verse 11 it says, and many false prophets shall rise and deceive. And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. And a lot of these people, that whole congregation is under, witchcraft ritual, man. It's a spell, really. It's a spell. And these devils, these people are all employed by Esau Edom, the white man. Okay, that's all they are. Look at his face, man. You can see the demon in his eyes. All right, that's all he cares about. Look at that gold ass watch. All right, that gold ass watch. Okay. It's not a good look. Makes you look like you are extorting your congregation. And that's exactly what you're doing. So let's get Matthew 15 and 14, and then we're going to go ahead and close out. So Matthew, I don't know how long we've been going for. Lord willing, a good hot minute. But Matthew 15 and 14. 14. I always fat finger it, man, because these buttons are tiny from fat ass fingers. So Matthew 15 and 14, and that's where we're going to close out. It just reads, 14. Let them alone, they be blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. So if you have someone over here that doesn't know anything, and they're leading people, what are you going to know? All right, if I don't know anything about a car, all right, let's say, I don't know. Our alternators are all fucked up right now. That's why we're driving this extra car. But say if I don't know anything about an alternator, and I'm trying to tell you about an alternator, you're going to know just as much as me. And what I know is nothing. So you're not going to know nothing. If I know nothing about an alternator, and I'm telling you about this alternator, here I am not knowing anything about it. That's going to be me not knowing and you not knowing. And you might go and tell people, hey, did you know about this alternator? And those people that you told are not going to know. And that's the same thing that goes on with these Christian church, man. They don't know. Because they don't have the truth, all right, according to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. They don't have this truth, this gospel. They're dealing with the slave Bible. They're dealing with Jesus Christ. All right, that's who they're dealing with. All right, they're not dealing with the true Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the true names, all right, the true Father and the Son. They're not dealing with that, okay? But they're not dealing with them. They're dealing with God and Jesus Christ, white man, a white iconography, all right, is that word? A white icon, all right, or an idol, all right, that has been built up by colonial Europeans, okay, and their whole Renaissance era crusades, all right, where they went forth and they, knocked noses off statues, painted over famous paintings, and destroyed paintings, destroyed buildings, captured, things like the Ark of the Covenant, captured different relics that belong to us that, would paint a certain picture. Got rid of them or hit them or destroy them. All right. No, I know they have the Ark of the Covenant. They're not just going to destroy that. I'm pretty sure they have that in the Vatican. The Vatican, mind you, is filled with all of our artifacts. All right. We don't know exactly what they have because not everybody can just go in there and you especially can't access the archives. Right. But all these different things that they have. All right. They have those things, and but they don't have this true truth. All right. The people have hidden it. So. They don't have this true truth. They're all according to the white man's crusades. All right, what he had them believe to put the image of white people in power. They can't show any minority, especially Israel. All right, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who are the 12 tribes of Israel scattered abroad. All right, respectively according to the tribes. They can't show them in power because that would fuck with their narrative. All right, that white is power. That would fuck with their narrative. That's why they don't like any idea of Jake power. They don't like that. All right, they don't like that idea going out because it harms their narrative. So that's what you're getting. You're getting a white supremacist, dumbed down, lack of knowledge version of Christianity, just Christianity, of some of the things that are in the Bible, okay, that they have warped and twisted, and that's all you're getting. And they don't know the truth, so you're not going to get the truth. You can't get the truth from someone who doesn't know the truth. So he locked the church down until they donated. And that's not, that's not according to the word. All right, the word, if you go, we just got a whole bunch of scriptures that condemn this type of behavior. But he doesn't care because he worries more about money. So that's a lesson. Pastor Marvin Saap locks down church until they donate, all right, until they get extorted $40,000 out of them. So that's a lesson. We're going to go ahead and close out there. Lord, and what was edifying. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. I want to say shalom to your brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring. Keep the faith. Don't go around these passages. Stay out of these Christian churches. Learn from the brothers on the highways and byways out there on YouTube making these videos. Don't go around those Christians. You ain't going to get the truth there. Until the next one, Lord willing, shalom.